The morning air outside the Metropolitan Museum of Art is a biting, March-grade chill, the kind that settles in your bones and stays there. We've retreated deep into the belly of the museum, Gallery 852, for the Lillian Bassman exhibit, Bazaar and Beyond. A dangerous title for a dangerous woman. You got to understand, in the late 40s, the fashion world was a rigid, soulless machinery of literalism. Then came Bassman. At 24 years old, she cracked the spine of Harper's Bazaar and let the fevered dreams out. Look at these walls. This isn't shopping. This is a high-velocity style for the beautifully deranged. The exhibit flips the script between the new school in Manhattan and the new look in Paris. It's a roadmap of a design apprentice who became an art director by sheer force of will. These rare vintage prints and marquettes are artifacts of a time when the American newsstand was actually interesting, before the bean counters and the boors took over. Bassman and her cohorts were importing European modernism and selling it to the masses. It was a beautiful hustle. You can see the audacity in every frame, the rare gift of an artist who knew the only thing worth capturing was the stuff you couldn't see. There is a savage elegance here that you just don't find in the digital age. These prints have weight. They have teeth. Bassman's work feels like a rhythmic pulse under the skin of the city. It's sophisticated, yes, but it's also weirdly isolating. The solitude of the high fashion icon. For an artist, this is the good stuff. It's proof that if you push the boundaries far enough, eventually the world has to call it classic, just to keep from being terrified of it. She took the commercial press and turned it into a gallery of the subconscious. Look at the atmospheric blur. This is where the madness starts. Back in 1950, the high priest of the industry told her this work was dangerous because it refused to be literal. She took gowns and girdles and boiled them down to their skeletal essence. Jagged silhouettes and ghostly lines. She was a darkroom sorceress, reaching into the chemicals with brushes, tissues, and raw bleach to distort the reality of the frame. She didn't want to show you a dress. She wanted to show you the sensation of a ghost passing through a ballroom. It's haunting. It's kind of heavy. It's the kind of photography that makes you want to drive a fast car into a cold sunrise. Her darkroom was a laboratory of madness and high-wire tension. She wasn't just developing film. She was performing surgery on the light itself. To get that atmospheric blur, Bassman would stand over the trays like a feverish chemist, using cigarette gauze or fine mesh stockings to filter the enlarger's beam. She wanted to strip away the pedestrian reality of the fabric, the seams, the zippers, the boring utility of the garment, and replace it with a shimmering charcoal haze. It was a deliberate sabotage of the lens's natural clarity, a middle finger to the sharp-focused obsession of the era. Then came the bleach. Most photographers treat bleach like a biohazard, but for Lillian, it was a weapon of liberation. She would take a brush and literally paint away the background, leaving her models floating in a void of pure, bleached white. This was painting the light, and in most literal savage form. The result was a high-contrast hallucination, an image that looked like it had been pulled from the wreckage of a burned-out Parisian ballroom. It's the kind of visual distortion that makes you realize the truth isn't found in the details, but in the shadows left behind. The show runs through July 26. If you have any soul left in this godforsaken century, get to the Met and see it before the shadows fade. We're heading back into the cold now, into the real New York. The wind on Fifth Avenue is waiting to peel the skin off our faces. But that's the price of the mission. Keep your head down, your collar up, and your eyes open for the ghost. Thanks for watching.